Welcome, everybody, to Athletic Definition. My name is Coach Razy. Today, I'm going to be talking about the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in California, all of California. I was going to say Southern California, but it's all of California. It is the Nike 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Make sure to stick around because if you like 3-on-3 basketball, I'm going to be making an announcement on something I'm doing with 3-on-3 basketball later in the show. So I love to play basketball. If you're new listening to the show, welcome. I am an endurance athlete who has completed over 57 marathons, blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I was playing in the Nike tournament every year prior to the pandemic. And also, besides that, I just basically love all sort of workouts, competitions. If it's a competition, from eating competitions to boxing, I just love to throw myself in those situations and see how it goes. It's really just more for the experience. I've changed a lot from when I first started competing to where I'm at now. But the great thing about the Nike tournament is well, let me tell you where it's at first. It's in LA Live, which is part of formerly known Staples Centers, which is now crypto.com. So it's right across the street. It's all part of a large complex in Southern California, basically LA Live. And they have the tournament, they have it in a garage, which is 3 levels. So it seems like indoor, but it's really not. So you get some shade. They also have it outdoor. They also have it on the streets. They also have it across the street. It's a large area. And of course, if you're listening to this and you want to see it, when I do the edit on Spotify you can also see it on my YouTube channel. I'll edit in video of me participating or walking around. I recorded the whole LA Live, so you get a sense of it. If you love basketball and 3-on-3 tournaments, it's great. Maybe you have kids or for yourself, because it is from kids all the way to adults. I've seen all ages. They even have well, I'll actually tell you, they actually have 6 divisions, and they're all competitive, and they really try to match you up based on age, height, and skill level as well. And they have youth, teen, adult, adult elite, wheelchair, and Special Olympics. And when I go, it's actually a 3-day event. The first day, they typically have like a all-star game or celebrity game. And then the next day is really when the tournaments start. They'll let you know, they'll do brackets. And if you win, you come back the next day. The next day, which would be Sundays, basically kind of like the playoffs. You are guaranteed, I think, at least 2 games. It's been a while. As I mentioned, I was doing it every year, or maybe for the last 3 years prior to the pandemic. I've wanted to do it since it started. It's the Nike 3-on-3 tournament. It started in 2008. I've always played basketball, and since I try and do all multiple sports, right now I'm playing basketball once a week. This was canceled in 2020 and 2021 due to the pandemic. And this year, it says that they're going to have it. I checked their IG, I checked their Twitter, I checked their YouTube, I checked their website, and as of now, unfortunately, there's still no announcement. Typically, I think it's in August. And I'm sure that this type of tournament takes a lot of work, a lot of organization. And so I'm a little concerned that they may not have it this year. They said that they were, but up to now, there's no announcement, because typically you get the opportunity to register early and save some money. And as of now, tomorrow's July 1st, halfway through the year, and still no announcement. So we'll see what happens. It's a good variety of skill levels, so you'll see a little bit of everything. And I walked around and kind of recorded a little bit of everybody, so you'll get to check it out. I'm looking forward to going back this year. Right now, I don't have a team. The first year was very cool. It was something that I wanted to do since I had a son. I wanted to play in a tournament with him and my nephew, and I got to fulfill that dream. And so it was me, my son, my nephew, and then we had a substitute, because you need at least a substitute. I was thinking, hey, we're in good enough shape where, the substitute will get very few minutes. But in reality, as you progress in the tournament, if you don't sub, even if your main star is good, it's going to wear on you. And so it's better to use your sub more. That way there's a good balance. And as you move along in the tournament, in my opinion, it's more balanced because you start to get worn down. Overall, they try and do the best they can to manage the games as far as reffing. With that being said, it did get a little bit physical at times. A lot of the guys there were bigger than me, and because they were bigger than me, and sometimes you're not going to just push me around inside. I love to play inside. I remember one game, and I'll show you on the video. This big guy came at me, and I blocked him, and I don't think he was expecting that. So after that, he was coming at me with elbow. Think of Shaquille O'Neal in his prime, basically offensive foul, elbow, and the ref didn't call nothing. So I had to let the guy know, hey, you're just not going to push me around in the tournament. So I made sure I fouled him, and the battle started from there. The first year missed the playoffs. I'm not even sure if we won a game, but as I mentioned, it was like just fulfilling a dream. And basically, what happens is they try and do age brackets. So it was like three young people, like in their 20s, and then me, the dad. And so I was playing against all the young bucks. If it would have been reversed, then like say me and a couple of my friends, and then I bring in my son, then he would have been more in the bracket for older people. That way, they try and balance it out as much as possible. But I knew that would happen, and I felt that my cardio, and I knew my cardio would be good, and that I wouldn't have a problem like with keeping up with them. But we didn't win, and then the second year that I do recall, we won our first game, and that was very cool. And then after that, we lost, but I'm not sure what happened because of brackets and things like that. We got to get into the playoffs, so we got to come back the next day. And then if you win, you continue. Unfortunately, the next day we didn't win, but it was a great experience moving on to the playoffs for the first time. And then I was all pumped. And of course, we all know what happened with the pandemic. Everything got shut down, understandably. But basketball, at least 3-on-3, in my opinion, was really kind of starting to get known and out there. I love basketball. I love playing in the street. So it's called street ball. And I love playing 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 5-on-5. And with the tournament at that point in that year, particular year, it was also the U.S. Olympic basketball 3-on-3 national championships. And they held that, I believe, at the beach, or maybe it was the Red Bull. Oh, yeah, I think it was mixed with a Red Bull. So that year, and I think it was Red Bull, so don't quote me on that one. But they had a tournament at the beach, and then the winner from that tournament would move on to play the winners of Hoop It Up. Hoop It Up is another basketball tournament that is owned by Kevin Garnett. And that year they came to Los Angeles as well. And me being the basketball street fan, I went to go check it out. I didn't play in this one because this is the first time I had heard about it. I mean, I had heard about it, but it was like the first time they were making a big deal about it. It was pretty cool. I went. A good mixture, good environment. Maybe I'll do a show on that one separately. This year, they are not in Los Angeles. They're continuing with their tournament, but they did not come to LA. And then then the winner of Hoop It Up, the winner of the Nike 3-on-3 tournament, and the winner of the Red Bull would get to play and of course, we're talking like the elite ones. They would get to play for a spot to be in the Olympics 3-on-3 basketball. In case you didn't know, the Olympics now have 3-on-3 basketball. And then, of course, the winner of Ice Cube's league would all compete to basically see who could represent for the U.S. team 3-on-3 basketball, which to me, I think is such a cool thing that the Olympics had it on. And I'm really happy about that. What I wanted to mention is, I know that right now, I'm sorry, since my assistant, Jamie, iPad is pulling up stuff right now, I sounded a little distracted. So my apologies for that. But thank you, everybody, for listening. I really appreciate your support. So, yeah, as I was mentioning, the winner of the Ice Cube Big Three basketball, they all played. And I actually don't know who won between all that. Super busy for me as well. But basketball was really, really, at least the 3-on-3 game was, in my opinion, the street ball game was really growing. And then everything kind of went downhill from that for many businesses and just people around. So it's not just in basketball. At the time, the Nike tournament was already getting more than 1,500 teams, over 5,000 players, over 25,000 spectators would turn out for the tournament. And between the tournament, they also have dunk contests, which are very entertaining. They would also have like a Spartan mini course obstacle, which I also did, of course. And as I mentioned, it's the world's largest 3-on-3 outdoor basketball tournament. So it's a great time if you have kids who like basketball. It only takes a couple days out of your schedule, or if you always wanted to come to Los Angeles, it's always, in my opinion, nice to plan. It will take up time from you sightseeing, but if you love basketball, it's a great way to hang out in the little area where we always go to Laker games or Clipper games or anything like that happens. So I just wanted to kind of let everybody know who's interested in basketball, 3-on-3 basketball, a little bit about the Nike 3-on-3 tournament. If it happens this year, I'm going to be in there. I still don't have my team, and if I find out it's on, then I'll start playing basketball more, because I basically kind of cater my training to whatever I'm going to be competing in. But I just try and stay in great general shape all the time. So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. What I wanted to mention was my big announcement is, I started a sports fitness news trends, and it seems like you guys really like it. So what I wanted to do is kind of cover, as I mentioned from the very beginning, sports that I like that don't get recognition. And this upcoming week, I will, that way and you have to follow me on Fireside so you can get the alert of when I announce a show. I'm going to be covering the Ice Cube League because they you could watch them on YouTube, and I can't remember the other channel, the Big Three. And so ESPN doesn't cover it. I love basketball. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to give you an update. If you don't know what the Big Three is, Ice Cube came up with it. It's a league with former NBA players, and they play, and they're pretty much all big names that you've heard of. I've seen just highlights. So now the season's not too long. So I'm looking forward to getting into it more and giving you updates on that. I will also be giving you updates on the Western States, which just happened. That's something else that ESPN doesn't cover, but 100-mile race, and ESPN isn't covering it, but you're going to show, let's say, bowling or darts or even poker. I'd rather cover the Western States. The other thing I noticed is, because I watch a lot of sports as well, all the media is kind of saying, well, this is the slow time of the year unless something big happens, like right now, Kevin Durant requests a trade. But for them, it's slow, so they'll bring up old topics like who's better, Shaquille O'Neal or Hakeem Olajuwon, things like that. But if you're into endurance sports, 100 miles, there's always something going on. There's always something going on in 3-on-3 basketball. There's always these sports that there are superior athletes and they don't get no recognition. So I'll be talking about Western States, the Big Three, and of course, fitness news and trends. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Athletic Definition and the Nike 3-on-3 tournament in Los Angeles, California. If it does come on, I will keep you updated, and hopefully you can join me in future episodes about this and see how it goes. We'll see if maybe somehow I can work it out to do some sort of live show of playing basketball. I don't know how that would work, but we'll wait till the announcement on that one. I also would like to announce that I know I have a lot of listeners from like Texas, so thank you. And if you speak Spanish, I will be starting my El Mundo de Fitness podcast. I actually have 2 episodes out where you can only find them exclusively on Fireside. And then next week on Thursday, I will be having my first guest, and he is going to be running Badwater, which is the world's toughest ultra marathon. And it'll all be in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, please join me. That'll be a whole new series here on Fireside. And also this 4th of July, please be sure to join me and my host Ty, as we're going to be reviewing the most patriotic beers for 4th of July. And that'll be at 7 p.m. Pacific time zone, live here on Fireside as well. And tomorrow, actually, no, not tomorrow, jumping ahead of time, I will have a show tomorrow, and it's going to be my most inspirational / motivational quotes that I like. And on Saturday, I will be having the hiking Cathedral Rock, and that'll be at 1 p.m. Pacific time zone. So lots of things coming, even bigger things coming. The return of guests are coming. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you. Till next time, Coach Ray Z, I'm out.